Hi guys, my name is Lelasophia. I am an artist and fine jewelry designer. If you like contemporary fine jewelry, if you like luxury handbags, all things interiors, then I have some fun videos for you. You guys, today, okay, obviously we're mainly a bag and fine jewelry channel, but you guys know I love my fragrances. I've really I think honed in my collection. And then, you know, come spring, summer, I honestly always find myself wanting to invest in some more perfumes. So this is also gonna be my little mini wish list. But first and foremost, if you guys are new here, thank you so much for tuning in. I can't wait to see you in all of my future videos. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram at lelasophia jewelry. I put up videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. And so I cannot wait to see you guys in the next one. Okay, I figure let's reverse how I usually do it. Let's do my wish list items first. Because just when you think your perfume collection is really honed in, then, you know, more things release, and hence it just always kind of perpetually gets larger and larger. And when I always talk about Bergdorf's, please sponsor me, you know, not sponsored at all. It's just my favorite place to shop in New York City. And it's very, you know, like heritage. My family's always gone there. And I was there with my brother one day, probably 2 months ago. And at the men's section, which is across the street from the regular big, gigantic Bergdorf's, there was the Tom Ford section, and there was somebody picking up a new bottle, and I was like, oh, I don't think I've seen this color before. Is this a new release? What is happening? And yes, there is, I think, a new release of Tom Ford perfume, which I don't have any of, by the way, called Vanilla Sex, which I hope I'm allowed to say that word on here. But yes, anyway, let's just call it vanilla. And when I tell you, it was my brother was like, don't you have 8,000 of these? It is so me. It is so yummy. I really have liked a lot of the Tom Ford fragrances. Actually, in fact, for Christmas, I got a little mini travel of Black Orchid, which I really, really love. I don't know why I haven't been drawn enough to a Tom Ford scent to get it yet. Bitter Peach is so amazing. Lost Cherry is also so yummy. All of the kind of heritage staple ones are as well, but this one is me in a bottle. It is kind of just honestly, on a daily basis, in addition to my fragrances, I just kind of wear a very concentrated vanilla scent that I got last time I was home in Morocco. And so the vanilla is clearly my base. When you'll see every single scent I get into has a vanilla something or other in it. And so this would, yes, be so much like everything else, but there's something a little bit sexy about it, a little bit maybe spicy about it. It's really beautiful. And I'd recommend everybody who loves a vanilla go smell that one. Another one that I have been talking about, and again, these are my more, clearly I've collected the ones that are just so easy, so perfect for me. Perfect, in the sense that I just know that I'll wear them, that I love them. I haven't gone too far out of my comfort zone. We'll get to 1 or 2 in my collection that they're a little bit, but kind of not even really. From Dries Van Noten, my brother's favorite brand, and also I think his favorite fragrance of all time. There's another one called Soie Malakai or Malaquais. Somebody correct my horrible pronunciation down below. And I've talked about this because usually when I like a vanilla base, this is a chocolate base, and it's ironically not as much my vibe as much as I love chocolate, duh, but for some reason scent-wise, I'm more of a vanilla girl. And in a fragrance, chocolate can sometimes feel too heavy for me or something like that. But I did try a tester of this, and honestly, it is so gorgeous. I believe it's by the same perfumer or perfume designer, however you say that, who did By the Fireplace by Margiela. And 8 years ago, that was a scent that I wore literally constantly. I loved that. I remember there was an entire 6 months when I just wore By the Fireplace, and it was so yummy. And so something kind of in that same vein, something that's so unique, that's so yummy, that's so gourmandy would be really incredible to try, especially from such an iconic house like Dries Van Noten. Then these ones are the ones that, you know, aren't because I haven't loved them or really, really been interested in them, but because these are, you know, another step up there. There is a fragrance. This is gonna be so niche. I know. Okay, so we know. If you follow me on social media, you're aware of how absolutely inspired by and just in love with Michelle Lamy I am. Rick Owens as a whole is really cool, but it's really Michelle Lamy for me. And I honestly think a lot of people, she's kind of the inspiration behind a lot. And I love her jewelry brand. I'm actually gonna talk about that in my fantasy wish list that's coming up that I'm actually so excited to share with you guys. And this was years ago when the Rick Owens store first opened on Howard Street in New York City. I lived in Soho for like a lot of years. And so when they first opened, I was there, don't worry, like the first week. And Michelle Lamy was there one of the days, and literally there was like in the back corner, just one singular bottle of perfume. And I remember I smelled it and I nearly fainted. I said, what is this? Of course, all the notes are literally me to a T. It's just exactly what you would think of when you think of me. Yes, I'm so Moroccan. I don't know why, like it just doesn't lie. There's something real about genetics, okay? Because it is the most beautiful amber scent I've ever smelled in my entire life. It has a hefty, I think the price tag has even gone up. I think it was $1,500. I think might now be like $1,700 or $1,900. It's absolutely wild. The bottle mixed with the scent, it is the most beautiful scent I've ever smelled in my entire life. Just totally throwing that one out there. For more obtainable, yet still in that kind of realm where I'm not quite ready to go to yet, I have never tried a Frederic Malle scent, and one of my favorite people on the internet, Maurice Harris from Bloom and Plume. If you don't follow, I would highly recommend. Like, when I tell you, brightens my day every single time, but I digress. There was one, like, this little like episodes that they do that are so cute, where he was showing his I don't know if he was showing his fragrance collection or just one. And literally, like, he sprayed it and was like, this is $1,000 bottle of perfume. This is crazy. And like, whoever films the videos, who's so cute, who like also interacts. Anyways, I'm getting totally outside of what I'm actually talking about. Regardless, I went into the comments because I was that intrigued, because I love his taste so much. So I was like, this must be an amazing scent. And it's called The Night. Again, the most Moroccan scent you could possibly think of. It's literally like oud, but done, it seems like, in a really different way, and I have yet to smell it. Anybody who smelled it, please let me know down below, because it's obviously a massive investment for a fragrance. Also, it kind of sounds just so luxe and so perfect. I would be okay not collecting any fragrance for like a full year and just getting that. It sounds that good. And then again, to kind of give you my very tight, which sounds ridiculous because honestly, I keep most of them in like another closet hidden away so that they stay safe, but I do have my little mini collection that I have out that I literally wear right before I walk out the door. There are so many of you guys who are new here, so I have to just share them again. And I'm gonna start it with my favorite, which I rarely do, but from Diptyque. This is actually one of my most recent fragrances that I kind of can't believe that I'd never tried Diptyque fragrances before. Obviously, I'm a Diptyque candle girly, as we all are, or so many of us are. And I went with my mother like probably almost about a year ago, or a little bit less, in like the late spring, early summer. And when I tell you, I walked over to the fragrance counter and I said, okay, I need this scent. This is Eau Duel by Diptyque, and you can see how much I love it because she's almost halfway down the bottle. I now wear this for more so special occasions, but I love this so much. It is a vanilla grown. It is a grown-up vanilla. It is a sexy vanilla. It is kind of a killer fragrance. It's one of those that, you know, I don't have a person at the moment, but if I were, this would be my date night fragrance. You know, this is so perfect. It's so yummy. It feels so rich and voluptuous. And honestly, it is like 1000% my favorite fragrance in my entire collection. She's pretty much perfect. By Kerosene, this is one of my other favorite fragrances called Blackmail. When I tell you, a name has never been so accurate. One of my favorite places in all of New York, called Scent Bar. I think on their website it's Lucky Scent, which is like a major fragrance hub. They have almost every fragrance you could even really like imagine. And they had these on display one day. They were kind of like, it's exactly what I'm trying to do right now, trying to show how incredible this brand is. First of all, it's incredibly, in everything in quotes, quote unquote, affordable as fragrances go, especially as niche house, really beautifully made luxe fragrances go. I first picked up the cap and said, what is this? I need to smell it. I sprayed it on my arm and said, oh, it's oud. I have 1,000 of those. I don't really need this. 45 minutes later, I left. I was on a walk with my dog. My arm smelled completely Blackmail. It was the coolest version of like the title actually matching the fragrance. And this goes from a staple oud to a candy cane oud, but in a sexy way, not in a childlike way. This is a killer fragrance. It's probably, I usually don't differentiate in my wardrobe or in my fragrances, really anything at all, between day and night. I do it all. You know, we're New Yorkers. We can wear, you know, a smoky eye and heels during the day. But this, she is so good. She is so deadly. This is really a night, like very sexy fragrance. Another one that you can see I also have clearly loved is from Byredo, another one of my favorite brands. This is Vanille Antique, which I got a year and a half ago with my brother in Paris, and I love this. I have a few fragrances from Byredo, but this is me. This is so perfect. Literally on the release day, I saw on their Instagram like 2.5 years ago or something like that, maybe 2 years ago. Saw when they dropped this, I read the notes, I sent it to my brother. I said, done, I found my new fragrance. I went to smell it and it's perfect. This is spicy vanilla. I know for people, everybody else except for me is probably like, you're a crazy person. These all probably smell so similar. This is smoky, spicy vanilla. This is like, honestly, again, I clearly don't like to differentiate between masculine and feminine fragrances, especially as you'll see. The first two that I showed, you know, are probably more so masculine. A lot of my fragrances in my collection, especially as a whole, are. This totally could be, but something about it, like it's obviously they're more concentrated version of fragrances, but something about it is just universal. Sure, most people would say that this is like a very winter heavy fragrance, but something about it like sits on your skin so well. That's probably why I like vanilla so much, is because other than Animalic's fragrances, which I also really love, there's something a little bit primal about it, and this is like the perfect version of that. To just throw in a curveball, which is super ironic, which you'll see in a second by the name even, this is the most unique fragrance in my collection because I really lean smoky, dark, sexy, and this fragrance that I'm about to show you is probably more so what you would think of as most like feminine. For me, it's super different. So I actually love this by Loewe, who has such a cool fragrance line. This is 001 Woman Eau de Parfum, not Eau de Toilette. I didn't like the EDT as much. Again, maybe that was too feminine, but I smelled this one on my birthday in September. I just, you know, wanted to get myself a little pick-me-up treat on my birthday. And honestly, I smelled this and I said, oh, do I finally like a feminine, like floral, springy type scent? I was shocked. And then I read the notes and I was like, oh, okay, it makes a little bit of sense. It's a lot more subtle, but the musky notes in this make this why I probably really liked it, because I have tried and smelled and even bought at times some of the more like feminine, again, everything in quotes, perfumes like the Delinas and just so many other fragrances, and I hate how they smell on myself. I hate them. I've literally sprayed things and been like, I need to go scrub my arm. I do not like those scents. Just for me, I like them on other people, and to find a fragrance that actually is like light, airy, springy, and again, quote unquote feminine, I was shook and I purchased immediately. The prices are incredible. Again, everything in air quotes, totally kind of comparing it to other bigger niche houses. Even though this isn't niche, it kind of gives niche quality. It's really, really incredible. All of the fragrances by Loewe are super unique, really cool, very innovative. And to go back to something that is so just my favorite, my vibe, probably my second most favorite, or really it might be neck and neck with the Diptyque Eau Duel fragrance from Celine. This is Black Tie, which I have shown on my channel so many times because I am that obsessed. You can see I am that obsessed. This is exactly a year of wear, and I've been trying to be much more sparing with my use as of lately, because I'm like, nobody's seeing me, nobody cares. Why am I wearing my favorite perfume for absolutely, you know, my dog? But regardless, she's that special that she could just be worn every day. This is, again, probably going to show up mostly in male collections, but I've seen a lot more women collecting this as well, so I'd say it's very, very gender fluid. For me, again, I feel like this is actually a more feminine leaning fragrance in my own collection, so I always get confused when things are like gendered, because this is delicious. I had no idea that I loved mossy fragrances so much, and there are only a couple flower fragrances scents that I like. Clearly, I already touched on rose. I love to smell jasmine and magnolia. They're two of my favorite scents ever on me. Again, I hate them, but iris and violet, I have figured out, are the two flowers in addition to rose that I love, and the scent does iris so beautifully. It is so perfect. Honestly, right now, like New York has been so beautiful lately. This is a perfect like transitional fragrance, but I think this can be worn year round. I certainly do that myself. And speak of iris, I totally forgot because it's literally like right where my entrance is, and so I forgot to grab it. But from Van Cleef, I also love Bois d'Iris, which is perfect. It is such, it's a staple fragrance in my collection. I honestly do. Like, if I'm not really going anywhere, but I kind of am just taking a walk, I'll spray that because it's the perfect everyday scent for me. It's kind of the middle ground of my collection. It's a little spicy, but that iris really gives it a really beautiful floral note while still being very vanilla based. That is one of my favorite fragrances also. And my last two are probably, again, what you would call my more feminine fragrances. From ByKilian, I know everybody loves Love Don't Be Shy, which everybody gets confused. The Love Don't Be Shy that we know today is not the Rihanna one. They totally reformulated it. I have smelled the original. What everybody talks about how Rihanna smelled so good, like literally, I sprayed it one time when I found it one time at, again, like a fragrance bar years ago. I walked down the street, seriously, people ran after me to stop me. The original Love Don't Be Shy, bring that back. We need to bring that back because the new one is not the Rihanna one. It still smells cool, but it is not the Rihanna one. I just have to clear that up again, you know, allegedly, because I don't work for the brand. I don't actually know, but that's what the words on the street is saying. So from ByKilian, I really wanted to want a fragrance by them, and I finally found, again, probably like 2-ish years ago, my favorite scent by ByKilian, which is Rolling in Love. It is so feminine for me, so I honestly don't wear it that often, but again, if I had this opportunity, it would totally be like a very date night fragrance. It's almonds and iris, and it's so creamy, which I also really love. I need to find the perfect lactonic scent because I love milk. I know that sounds so crazy. I know most people are very against milk, but I love creamy, milky scents. And this has a little bit of that in it while still being, this is honestly what I would imagine my aunt to smell like, and she was the most fabulous Upper East Sider human being of all time. And this is exactly how I would picture her smelling today. And lastly, from probably I'd say the most infamous house of the last like 3 years especially, from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Of course, I do not have Baccarat Rouge 540 because even when that fragrance first came out, I remember I had a client, a jewelry client, who worked for one of the umbrella companies that like really showcases Baccarat Rouge 540. And she probably got it like right when it released. And I remember every time I saw her, I'd be like, please tell me what you're wearing. What is this? I still love that scent. Way too many people have it for me. I'm just the same way about my bags, about everything. Now, so many people also have this one, but however many years ago, I forget when I started collecting fragrances for real. Gentle Fluidity Gold. I remember smelling this and saying, oh, are you kidding me? Like, this was the original fragrance that made me fall down the rabbit hole of fragrances, even though my collection is probably very basic, to be honest, but I love this scent. It is so yummy. Again, it's very vanilla, but it's such a subtle vanilla to me. Again, I have very intensive vanillas. So this is actually like a much lighter version to me, but there's a little juniper in there. There's a little amber in there. This is one of the most beautiful fragrances. I'm gonna wear this today. And you guys, that has been my current favorite fragrances in my collection, along with my little mini wish list. I'd love to hear everybody's thoughts. What is your favorite current fragrance, or what are your current favorite fragrances? Because you guys know I love to hear all of your thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye, guys.